Okay, so this is the video. This video footage of election fraud is the game over event. This is it. The hammers come down. It's not even possible anymore to deny it. This is from Louder with Crowder. I like the way that they explain it. So I'll leave the link directly to his page below if you'd like to take a look at that. But what I'm going to do as the video goes on is I'm going to provide you some more information about what's going on here and what to expect. I am going to disprove some of the lies that are going to be coming out from this and just share some things with you just to give you some further understanding. So let's go ahead and go through it.
This is the Republican Observers. There is a lady who has blonde braids who comes out to announce we're going to stop counting.
Okay, let me just stop it right here. The lady with blonde braids is right here. Okay, keep in mind that as they're counting here, there are Republican observers, there are Democrat observers, there are ballot counters all over the place. This is operating in a normal way that you would expect ballot counting to happen. Another thing I want to bring up to you is the date. You can see here it says 11/3/20. This is not a recount. This was on election night. So anyone who's trying to tell you that this is a recount video, the security cameras have time stamped in that this was on election night at 9:57. Now, they're claiming here in this video that this woman came in and said, hey, we need to clear everybody out. If that is true, it should take about a half an hour to clear everybody out of there, to get everything in order and to leave. There are some people that are saying that this is the area where the pipe burst occurred, which we already know is not actually a thing that occurred during the election time. I cannot verify whether this is the pipe burst location or not. More people need to dig into that. But what I will tell you is if this lady comes in and says it's time for you to leave, we should expect that in about a half an hour, everyone's gone. Not longer than that, not 2 hours. Let's see what the security footage shows us.
Everyone go home. And in fact, we see that. What happens is everyone clears out. So what you're going to...
Now we move to the clear out time. Take a look at the timestamp, 10:39. Just about a half an hour, maybe 40 minutes. So this perfectly fits with the narration. The lady comes in, it's time to go for whatever reason she gave everybody clear out, and everyone does clear out, except for a few people. Some people clean it up, and we see some ladies here in the back. Let's continue with the video.
Look at the ladies in yellow. You'll see that they will begin just sitting still, doing nothing, ostensibly not working, because after all, they said they're going to stop counting. They will wait until the witnesses over there in that roped off area, the press and the observers, leave the room. Then you'll see them move into action and begin scanning ballots. Once everyone is gone, coast is clear, they are going to pull ballots out from underneath a table. There you go. So now they're going to start pulling these ballots out from under this table. This table, the black one, was placed there.
Ladies and gentlemen, I have to stop this here. This is shady as all get out. There is a table off to the side. Now, I'm going to keep playing the video. You're going to see where this table came from. She is pulling out a massive suitcase, sealed suitcase with stuff in it. Ballots are in that. And it's hiding underneath a table. This is on election night. After all of the Republican observers have all left at this point, the press is gone. They're pulling out sealed suitcases underneath a veiled table. Let's continue forward.
By the lady with the blonde braids. Okay, so 8:21. You'll notice the table's not there at all. Here it comes. There's the table going in that we're talking about where the ballots were obscured. That lady who's moving it is the lady.
So the lady, the same blonde-haired lady who we showed you before, who cleared everyone out, is the same lady who set up this table in that specific location for a very particular purpose.
She's dressed differently in the morning, so it took us a while to figure out that's the same person that you see at night with the blue apron on who's yelling for everyone to leave and who stays behind to help tabulate ballots after they've all left. Yeah, I saw 4 suitcases come out from underneath the table.
I got to go back here for a second because you got to take a look at the timestamp there. It is now 11:04 p.m. They are still there counting at 11:04 p.m. She told everyone to clear out. See, the reason the timestamps are important is because it confirms the narration of what's going on here. The lady that's sharing this with you from Crouders' site is being accurate because you got to take a look at, well, how long did it take people to clear out? How long were these ladies actually staying there? For hours. They were staying there, taking out these suitcases and counting and putting things through the machines from these suitcases underneath the table. Let's continue forward.
So he just pulled one out.
There's another one.
So what are these ballots doing there, separate from all the other ballots? And why are they only counting them whenever the place is cleared out with no witnesses? These machines can process about 3,000 ballots an hour. You have multiple machines there, and they're there for 2 hours.
So there could be like 3 or 4 machines there. And if they can each process around 3,000 an hour, that's about 9,000 to 12,000 an hour. So you're talking about 18 to possibly 30,000 ballots that can be processed in that time period. And the suitcases are large enough to hold that many ballots. And ballots are very thin. You can fit easily 5,000 ballots in one of those suitcases, as large as they were.
So you do the math. We believe that could easily be, and probably is certainly, beyond the margin of victory in this race. Because if it's only 3 scanners working for 2 hours, right, that's 18,000 ballots that went through.
They're obviously going to dispute this. There's some important stuff I got to share with you. Please do not click off of this video, okay? I'm going to actually click down off of this. I want to show you something because this is Louder with Crouders video. So this is right here on YouTube. So stick with me for a second here. Underneath this video, take a look at what YouTube has written and what keeps writing about this. Robust safeguards to help ensure the integrity of election and results. If you click on that, YouTube is putting this on all of these videos, and it's probably even at the bottom of this video, where they're trying to say, hey guys, don't believe this stuff. Robust safeguards were put into place. Well, here is what happens if you go to that robust safeguards. It's, from CISA, the Cyber Infrastructure Security Agency. The guy that got fired by Donald Trump is the one that is housing this information. This corrupt organization who actually knew about all of this, and just along with the FBI and the DOJ and Barr, by the way, you have Democrats saying even Barr came out and said that he didn't find anything. Of course he didn't find anything because he hasn't been looking for anything. Hard to find something when you're not looking for it. I've done that with my kids a few times. Let's play hide and go seek. All right, guys, go hide. Dada, you didn't find us. Of course I didn't. I never started looking. That's exactly what the DOJ is doing right now. So is he lying? No, he's technically not lying because he's not actually looking. This is from CISA. This is on YouTube site. Check what happens when you roll down. They're trying to fact check all these sites. Oh, look at this. Reality. Robust safeguards, including canvassing and auditing procedures, help ensure the accuracy of official election results. Rumor. A bad actor could change election results without detection. Really? That's a rumor? I think I just watched a video that actually shows that the federal organization CISA is completely corrupt. You watch the video where a bad actor and a couple of people that helped out, in fact, actually did just that. But YouTube is promoting this garbage coming from CISA, who already knows what's going on, but they're not investigating anything, but putting this stuff out there as if this is the facts, and it's not. Other individuals are also going to tell you that this has already been debunked. So video doesn't show election fraud in Georgia. This, by the way, if anyone sends you to this is showing a different video. This is not even the video that's being showed here. And the way you can tell so easily that this is the case is it says right here, the video appears to have been recorded by a recount observer. So this is during a recount time period. This wasn't a recount. This was during the election night. And this wasn't recorded by a recount observer. This was recorded by security cameras. So that is referring to a completely different video. But people are going to circulate that as if it's talking about that video, which it is not. So what should you expect? This is what I would expect. Expect many of the major news media sources to not even cover this. I've been looking at CNN, CNBC, NBC, any of them. I'm not seeing them cover this anywhere. This should be frontline news everywhere. Major footage captured. We are investigating now. Even if they want to say, we don't know what it is yet, but we're investigating it, it should still be reported everywhere that at least the video footage is found. And now the investigation begins. Silence amongst all the media sources. So be ready for the continued silence to happen. Also be ready for people to tell you that's not evidence. There's no evidence of widespread fraud going on. I just watched it with my own eyes. There was a bunch of people there who left. Then a few people stayed, no Republican watchers, and they were pulling briefcases out of a covered table and ringing them over after everyone was gone. I just watched it. Well, that's not evidence. Think about Russia, the Russia dossier. They had a fake dossier set up. One person, one rumor mill, and they investigated Trump for 3.5 years off of one rumor mill dossier. Here we have video footage, and now we have nearly 5,000 sworn affidavits, people who are swearing under oath with the result, if they are lying, of perjury and a federal offense. And now we have video footage like this. There's no evidence, but we investigate Donald Trump for 3.5 years. Be ready for people to twist this. Be ready for people to tell individuals it's already been debunked by sending them to the wrong site. They're going to send them to CISA, and they're going to say, an individual can't do this. Be ready to tell them you didn't actually see what you think you saw. Oh, what they were doing there, that wasn't fraud. They were doing a normal thing there. Ladies and gentlemen, that was not a normal thing that was going on there. And if the DOJ, the FBI, or CISA, or anyone else does not investigate this, it should reveal to you how corrupt they are. If they keep coming out and just saying fraud, not real, did you investigate it? We don't need to investigate. It's fraud. You should immediately be ringing in your head, oh my goodness, they're all in on this. They're not even investigating a thing. They don't care. You saw it with your own eyes. We went through the timestamps. If anything, if you want to say it still doesn't prove it because we're not right there with it, it at minimum warrants a deep investigation into what happened there. These people should be separated and they should be asked what was going on. I guarantee you, whatever answers they give, it is not going to hold water, and it's going to be revealed some major terrible stuff was going on there, and there's no way to know how many ballots that was. In my opinion, you're talking about 20 to 30,000 ballots right there. That's the margin of victory for Donald Trump. And by the way, if they get it there in Georgia and then Georgia flips, you then have to say, well, wait a second, if it happened there, is it possible that there was some information that was spread around to other individuals and it possibly going to happen in other places where they also stopped the count? They didn't just stop the count there. In many of these other flip states, they stopped the count as well, which means that you now have to bring the investigation there. And if Georgia flips, now the Supreme Court is going to have to get involved, because once you have a state that flips, the Supreme Court's trying to stay out of this right now. But once you have a state that flips, the Supreme Court's going to have no option but to now get involved, because the entire credibility of the election is now on the line. And this is a big deal, because now you're going to have basically half of the population of the United States of America who does not believe in the integrity of their own elections. This is not a good thing for the survivability of a country, especially a free country like us. If we were under the dictatorship of some communist rule, then maybe they could just subject us to accepting whatever it is they did. But in a country like the United States, there's only so much power our leaders have, although they're trying to take more and more every day. It's going to be a big problem for the U.S. going forward. This must be then addressed by the Supreme Court. Let's see what the FBI, the CIA, and the Department of Justice actually does. I wonder if Mr. Barr is taking a look at this and there's no fraud going on. Well, he said widespread fraud. He said they're going to continue the investigation. Let's see what happens. This seems like a big game changer to me, but be prepared for all of the spinning to occur. They're meeting in their back offices right now at CNN, at MSNBC, everyone, DOJ, FBI, CISA, they're all meeting in the back offices trying to figure out, how in the world do we try to spin this thing? How do we try to stop this? This is going to be a tough one to stop, because Americans can see it for their own eyes. They can look at all the information for themselves, and this is very hard to dispute. So we are going to keep our eyes on this one, as you should as well.